Yeladim, it's Rabbi Neubort here for the Friday Farbrengens with the rabbis. This Shabbos is a very special Shabbos for two reasons. Number one, we read two parshas in the Torah, Parshas Behar and Bechukosai. And the second reason is this Shabbos is the end of Chumash Vayikra. And so at the end of us reading the Torah, we scream, Chazak, Chazak, v'nischazek. Let us be strong, and be strengthened. I want to share with you a special story about a Jew named Rabbi Yisroel. Rabbi Yisroel lived a long time ago, and he was a very special man. He loved his family, and he loved Torah, and he loved mitzvos, but there was one mitzvah that he loved more than all the other mitzvos. And that was the mitzvah of Tzedaka. He loved to give Tzedaka. He didn't only put coins in the Tzedaka box like you girls and boys do at school, and I hope that you're doing at home every day, putting Tzedaka in the Tzedaka box. That was only one way that he would give Tzedaka. There was another way that he would give Tzedaka. Rabbi Yisroel would invite all the poor people of his town to his house for a special meal anytime something was going on. So he would look for reasons to celebrate and make a celebration. If his cow gave birth to a baby calf, he would make a special celebration and invite all the poor people. Come to my house. My cow gave birth to a baby calf. And he would give them food and drink. And this way, they wouldn't even realize that they were getting tzedakah. Rabbi Yisroel had a son named Beryl. Beryl was a young boy, and Rabbi Yisroel would teach his son Beryl to help with all of these mitzvahs, especially the mitzvah of tzedakah. So when all these guests would come by, all these who were poor people, Rabbi Yisroel would have his son Beryl help give them food. And he would send them to the well to bring water and help serve all of these poor people in order that his son, Beryl, would learn to give tzedakah in a beautiful way, just like his father. Well, when his son Beryl turned 10 years old, in those days, a boy would study at home with his father or with a private teacher till he was 10 years old. And then, just like we do today, we study at home. We can't go to school. So in those days, they didn't have schools for little boys. Little boys stayed home. But then, at 10 years old, they would start going to the yeshiva. And in the yeshiva, there was older people and younger people who were studying Torah. So, he sent him to yeshiva for the first time when he was 10 years old. His mother, little Beryl's mother, had an idea. Why not bring a basket of bagels to the yeshiva? Maybe there are people who don't have enough food in the yeshiva, and they will be able to eat some of these bagels. Beryl loved this idea. He took the basket of bagels and off he went to the yeshiva for the very first time. Now, when he got to the yeshiva, he saw a whole bunch of men studying in the Beis Medrash. That's the place where everybody studies. And he gave out bagels to all of them. And then he went into the next room where the young boys were studying, and he gave bagels to all of them. And they were all excited because some of them did not have enough money for food. After the school day was over, young Beryl came back home. And when he came back home, his parents noticed something very interesting. He wasn't wearing shoes. He had no shoes on. Now his parents asked him, "What happened to your shoes?" And young Beryl said something very special. He said, "Well, in the yeshiva, there was a boy who didn't have shoes. And I realized that the reason he didn't have shoes was because his parents were poor. They couldn't afford to buy him shoes. They didn't have any money. And so I decided to give him my shoes. I know that my parents have enough money to buy me new shoes. So I realized, let me give him my shoes. And when I'll come home, I'm sure my parents will be happy that I gave my shoes to him. And they will buy me new shoes." His parents were so overjoyed that young Beryl learned to give tzedakah just like their parents. And so, of course, this was reason for celebration. So guess what they did? They invited all the poor people from the town to come celebrate that their son is going in their ways of Torah and mitzvah, and especially in tzedakah. And so, girls and boys, tzedakah is not just putting coins in a tzedakah box. It's also helping people who don't have enough food or enough clothing for themselves. Bye-bye now. Have a very good Shabbos, and I hope to see you all again very soon.